Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. My name is Christine and this is Everyday Yoga. Today we'll be doing a practice that uses both a chair and the mat. So have a nice sturdy chair with you, one that's not on wheels, that you can place on your mat so that we can use it to help support us as we move throughout our practice. If you have hand or wrist issues or knee issues, this is the perfect practice to you because we will not be using those areas of our body to the extent that we'll be putting any kind of pressure on them. We will be opening up the shoulders and the hips though, so go ahead and find that chair on your mat and we'll meet you there. So we're starting today in a comfortable and safe seat. You kind of want to be forward enough on your chair that your feet can be flat on the earth. And you want to be sitting up nice and tall. Maybe press your palms down to the tops of your thighs so that you can sort of loop the shoulders up and back and down, bringing the elbows down towards your hips, tilting the chin inward toward the heart and lifting the crown of the head up towards the sky. And then release the hands and just kind of let that really extended seated position kind of back off from that, maybe like 20%. So we're sitting up really nice and high, and then we just want to soften into that. And then with your hands on your thighs or your knees or hanging down by your sides, we're just going to come into the present moment, and we're going to do that by anchoring ourselves with the breath. So for a moment here, just notice the breath as it enters your nose as you inhale, and as it exits your nose as you exhale. Just taking your attention to the very tip of your nose. Sitting up nice and tall, relaxing the muscles of the face, maybe closing the eyes if that feels good, so that you can really drop inward and really get present with this moment. And now we're going to just go ahead and deepen the breath a little bit. So mentally count to yourself how many beats it takes you to inhale. So it might be inhale for 1, 2, 3, and then see how many beats it takes you to exhale. And if you can and it's comfortable for you, see if you can match the length of the exhale to that of the inhale. So if you're inhaling for 1, 2, 3, see if you can exhale for 1, 2, 3. And it might be 4, might be 2, whatever it is for you, that's what it is. Don't try to match the number of beats anyone else is doing. It's individual to you. So let's just take 3 nice balanced breaths like that. Softening the gaze if closing the eyes doesn't feel good to you. Letting the shoulders relax. Allowing the jaw to relax. Allowing the elbows to be nice and heavy. When you found those 3 breaths, let's do 3 more, but see if you can make the exhale be 1 beat longer than the inhale. So if you're inhaling for 3, exhale for 4. And let's find 3 more breaths like that. Extending that exhale can help us to tap into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is what helps our body to relax, to restore, to have good digestive function, to sleep well, to be calm. And then once you've found those 3 nice breaths here. We're just going to link the breath with our movement. So let's go ahead and inhale, spreading the arms out wide and lifting the palms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, turn the palms away from one another and allow them to just float back down towards the earth. We'll inhale, turning the palms up, reaching up towards the sky. And exhale, flipping the palms down towards the earth, allowing the fingertips to point downward. And keep moving like this. And as you do, keep that chin tucked to keep the neck nice and long and protected. Let the heart be lifted and the shoulder blades be down the back. And floating down. And then this time as we inhale, let's rotate the wrists in one direction. Lifting the arms up in this nice V shape. And as you exhale, reverse the rotation and let the arms come down towards the floor. Let's do that 2 more times, rotating the wrists and inhaling as we move upward. And reversing the circles and exhaling as we move downward. Notice the bottoms of your feet as they're pressing on the earth here. Tuck the chin, relax the jaw. One more time, coming up alongside the ears. And when we come up here, we're going to stay here. Stay for that exhale, and then as you inhale, lift the shoulders up actively towards the ears. And as you exhale, draw the shoulder blades down the back, lifting the heart, tucking the chin, and kind of rotating the pinkies inward, creating space in between the shoulder blades here. This is our victorious pose. If you watch the Olympics, this pose is all over the place. This is the ta-da, I did it pose. But it's also a really good pose for anchoring those arm bones into the shoulder sockets, which does build bone density. Moving these bones around really does help build bone density. So this is a good strengthening pose. Even though we're not really moving, you might notice your arms beginning to shake or beginning to tire. And we're just going to stay here for 2 more breaths. We'll find that nice elongated exhale here. Really allowing those arm bones to sink into the shoulder sockets. And after you've found those 2 full breaths, go ahead and allow the arms to float back down towards the earth. And we'll just lift the shoulders up towards the ears and back and down, just looping them around and around a little bit. Getting a little bit of motion here. You can even go side to side, rotating one shoulder up and then the other. And whatever direction, whatever shoulder you started with, let's reverse it so that it feels really weird and really awkward. Getting into those shoulders today. And being okay with it feeling weird. And then we'll take a big inhale. And as we exhale, let's just let it go out the mouth with a sigh. So big inhale here. And exhale to let it go. One more time, inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth and let it go. Then we'll inhale to float the arms back up to our victorious pose. And as we exhale, let's bring the right hand behind the neck or at the top of the back, bending that right elbow, and then bring the left fingertips to the right elbow here. We want to do this without hunching forward. We want to keep that lifted heart. We want to keep the shoulder blades down the back. So if this isn't enough space here, just widen your stance with the arms or just release the left hand down. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can take that left arm behind the back, bringing the back of the hand to the small of the back and drawing those fingertips towards one another, or maybe holding on to your shirt, or if you're really flexible, maybe hooking the fingers. It's a lot of different bodies, a lot of different variations of this. You might be here, you might be hooking the fingers, you might be anywhere in between. One more breath here, and then we'll inhale, spreading the arms back up to our victorious pose. And then exhale to draw the right arm across the chest and hugging it in with the palm of the left hand. Again, we want to keep that lifted heart. We want to keep the tucked chin. We want to make space in between the shoulder blades, and we want to sit beautifully tall. Breathing here. Tapping into that nice elongated breath. And then the next time we inhale, we'll release the arms, come back to our victorious pose, and then exhale, bringing the left hand behind the neck, taking the right fingertips to that left elbow, keeping the heart lifted or keeping the fingertips down, or maybe bringing the back of the right hand behind the back and reaching the hands toward one another. And probably this side will be different than the first side. You might feel that you can get a lot closer on this side. You might feel that you're much farther away, and that's fine because humans are not perfectly symmetrical. And it might be different tomorrow than it is today. So we'll just take one more breath here. And then we'll inhale the arms high to the sky and exhale to draw the left arm across the heart, hugging it in with the right palm. Breathing into that left shoulder, keeping the heart lifted, keeping the jaw relaxed. One more big breath here. And then we'll inhale the arms high to the sky and exhale to release the fingertips down towards the earth. So let's go ahead and come off the chair and put the chair at one end of your mat with the seat facing towards you. We're going to do a modification of downward facing dog. So traditionally, hands and feet would be on the mat and your body would be in kind of an inverted V shape. So we're going to take the hands to the hips here. We're going to find mountain pose. And in doing that, you're just going to rock forward and back on the feet. Maybe rock a little bit side to side, until you find that place where you are perfectly centered on your feet, where you can feel the balls of the feet carrying as much weight as the heels, the outside edges of the feet as much weight as the inside edges of the feet. Really nicely firm, planted to the earth. And then maybe open up the arms so the palms are shining forward. Have a little bit of a bend in the knees so that the knees are not locked here. And then have a nice neutral pelvis here. So we don't want to be scooped under. We don't want to be poked out. We just want to be nice and neutral with the pelvis right over those knees. And then the heart is over the pelvis, nice and lifted. Let's loop those shoulders up and back and down one more time, just so we can really invite the shoulder blades down towards the back pockets. Tuck that chin, lift the crown of the head to the sky, and find your mountain pose, Tadasana. One more full breath here. And then we'll inhale to raise the arms up, lifting the fingertips towards the sky. Bring the hands together at the heart. Prayer position. Inhale the arms back up towards the sky. And this time we're going to hinge forward at the hips. We're not rounding at the waist, but we're hinging right here at the hip crease. That's where the movement is coming. And we're bringing the palms to the chair. And you might need to adjust your stance so that the head can come kind of right between the elbows here. Again, we're not locking the knees. You can send your feet way back far so that you get more of a stretch in the front of the body. Or you can have them a little closer. Wherever you are, you just want to feel secure and safe. But you also want to feel that nice lengthening in the side body. As you inhale, notice how the ribs expand and make space. As you exhale, see where you can soften, maybe softening the jaw, softening the forehead, not crinkling up the toes or the fingers. And as you're here in downward dog, see if you can't encourage that same sort of victorious pose in the shoulders by kind of tractioning the pinkies toward one another without actually moving the hands, just so that you're getting a little bit of an external rotation in the shoulders and drawing the shoulder blades apart from one another. Remember to keep the knees soft here. Find 2 more nice breaths here, lifting the hips up towards the sky. And then we'll go ahead and release the hands from the seat of the chair, bring the hands back to the hips, and hinge back up with a nice straight back, moving really, really, really slow here. And then let's go ahead and turn the chair so that the back of the chair is to us. And we're going to take our fingertips to that high back of the chair. Go ahead and release the arms for just a moment to reestablish your mountain pose, your Dandasana. Reestablish the connection to the breath. Reestablish that connection of your feet to the floor beneath you. Nice and even, all the way around the feet, side to side, ball to heel. Maybe lift the toes up and set them back down. And then we'll bring the fingertips to the back of the chair. Inhale here, and as you exhale, step back with the left foot, coming into a high lunge. Now, if your knees are compromised here, you might only have a little bit of a bend in the knee. If you want a little bit more, you can take the left leg back farther and bend a little bit more deeply in the right knee. But wherever you are, you want to get this nice stretch here in the left hip flexor. Really opening up here. You can keep your arms to the chair, or if you like, you can inhale the arms up to our victorious pose, coming into full high lunge. So this pose is going to look different for everybody. Honor what's going on in your body today and let it be what it needs to be for you. One more big inhale here. And as you exhale, return the hands to the chair if they're not already there, and step back to your mountain pose. Let's go ahead and inhale the arms up to the sky. Bring the palms together and down to the heart as you exhale. And then we'll come back to the hands on the back of the chair, and this time we'll step back with the right foot. Again, it might be a very small step. We might be here. We might even be here. Or we can step back a lot further here. But wherever you are, take your focus to that right hip flexor. Breathing into that hip, opening up through the front of the body. We do a lot of sitting these days. So opening up that hip flexor is really important. And if you like, you can inhale the arms back up to our victorious pose. And wherever you are, one more big breath here. And then we'll return to our mountain pose, replacing the hands on the chair if they're not there already, and stepping forward. And then we'll go ahead and turn the chair back around again. Didn't know this was going to be a weightlifting class, moving the chair around today. And for those with any kind of knee issues, go ahead and take a seat and allow the seat to be a support for you to safely get down to the floor. So you might keep your hands on the chair as you walk yourself out and down, or you might want to come to the side and gently get yourself down to the floor this way. But whatever it is, just make it be safe to get yourself all the way down. Sitting up on your sit bones, feet flat on the floor, knees pointed up to the sky to start. And you want to be facing the seat of the chair because we're going to use it again. We're going to put our feet up on it in a bit here. And then we want to lower ourselves down to the mat without just like plopping there. You can either step one forearm down and then the other, and then bring the back of the tricep down and then the other to come to the floor. Or from your seated position, you can take the hands to the backs of the thighs. Inhale here, and as you exhale, exhale through the mouth like you're trying to fog a mirror. And see how that engages your core muscles here. So we'll inhale and exhale. And as you exhale, you might feel just a little engagement of those belly muscles, kind of like if you're coughing or laughing. And with the belly muscles engaged, you can roll down one vertebrae at a time, safely taking yourself to the floor while getting a little bit of a core strengthener there as well. And then we'll bring the knees up towards the chest, give ourselves a little bit of a hug here. And then let's put the right foot back down on the floor. And we're going to take the outside of the left ankle to the top of the right thigh, coming into a figure four stretch. If this is difficult on your knees, you can send the right leg out a little further to give yourself some more space. Or you can keep the right leg in towards that right sit bone, flex the left foot, and as you do, really focus on drawing that pinky towards your knee. So we're kind of flexing the foot, pointing the toes up towards the sky, pinky draws in towards the knee. As you do that, it engages the ligaments around the knee to help support the knee. So we're getting some more opening in the hips here. You can take the palm of your left hand to the top of the left thigh and kind of massage it a little bit, pushing the thigh away from you. Getting a little bit of space here in that left hip flexor. You can stay here, or if you want a little bit more, you can lift the right leg. Lift the shoulders and the head from the earth if you need to be able to thread that left arm through the space between the thighs and clasp the hands behind the right thigh so that you can draw that right knee in towards you, getting more of a stretch in the outside of the left hip now in that IT band. If it feels good to you, you might even clasp around the front of the shin. Wherever you are, take one more full breath. And then we'll release and switch sides. Bringing the sole of the left foot down to the mat. Bringing the outside of the right ankle to the top of the left thigh. Maybe flexing that right foot, drawing the pinky towards the knee to engage those ligaments to keep the knee safe. And then maybe taking the heel of that right hand and gently massaging the inside and the top of that right thigh. Opening up through the hips. There's some research out there that says that the jaw and the hips are somewhat connected. So if you can release tension in the hips, theoretically, you can release tension in the jaw as well. And then you can take that little journey to get a little deeper here, if you like, by threading the right arm through the little triangle there between the thighs and clasping the hands behind the left leg. But only if you can safely bring the shoulders and the head back down to the mat. If you have to be crunched up to hold here, or if the breath is compromised, just come back down to the earlier position. If this is okay here and you can still breathe and you want to go deeper, you can clasp around the front of the shin. Settling those shoulders and the back of the head down towards the earth. Noticing what you feel in the right hip. Noticing where you can relax. One more big breath here. And then we'll release the right foot from the top of the left thigh. Hug the knees in towards the heart. Maybe draw the nose towards the knee, realigning the hips and the spine and the neck. And then this is where the fun comes in. So inch yourself down by maybe pressing into your triceps so that you can get your shins right up against the top of that chair seat. And then we'll lift one leg and then the other. And if you've got to kind of make some adjustments to scoot yourself closer to the chair, go ahead and do that just so that you're nice and comfortable here. So the backs of the calves are up on the chair seat. Your back body is resting on the earth. We're going to press into those triceps just enough to lift the heart so that we can hug those shoulder blades in towards one another and down towards the back pockets. And here you can keep your hands on your belly, or you can open the arms up to the sky, palms shining upward. Tuck that chin gently to keep the neck nice and long and safe. Maybe take your gaze out over the right shoulder and then back to center, and then gaze out over the left shoulder. Do that a couple more times, just getting a little bit of movement here in the neck. And then come back to stillness. We'll take 3 more cleansing breaths, inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. One more time, inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, maybe let it go with a sigh. One more time. And as we rest here with our legs elevated, we're allowing our lymphatic system to reset. We're allowing the blood from our legs to come back up towards our heart and our brains. And we're just coming back to breathing through the nose and finding that nice elongated exhale on the breath. So if you're inhaling for 3, try exhaling for 4. And if that's not comfortable for you, just come back to your natural breath. And as we lay here in our final resting pose, which is sometimes the hardest pose of all, to just rest and just be still. See if you can bring to mind something that you're grateful for. It might be something quickly came to your mind. You might have to search around a little bit. Might be that first cup of hot tea in the morning, beautiful sunset, the chair your legs are resting on, just something small and everyday that you're just grateful for. And as you think about that thing, bring your inward attention to the space where your heart resides. Letting that sense of gratitude fill your heart space. And then maybe think about something that makes you laugh. Might be an inside joke with a favorite friend. It might be your furry family member. It might be a favorite movie or TV show. Just something that never fails to bring a smile to your face or laughter to your belly. And as you let that sense of humor fill you, bring your focus back to your heart space. And then maybe think about something that brings you a sense of awe. Maybe it is watching the Olympics, watching Simone Biles or one of the other incredible gymnasts do a really cool routine, or maybe it's the Northern Lights. Maybe it is just something that makes you go, wow. And as you let that sense of awe fill you, bring the focus back to the heart. Now we're going to think about a place that we love. Might be a real place, might be an imagined place, might be a place you've spent many days, might be a place you've never been but you want to go to. And just picture that place that you love in your mind, and then bring the sense of love to the heart. So with that sense of gratitude and laughter and awe and love filling up your heart, redirect all of those good feelings towards yourself. I know we all make ourselves laugh sometimes. Maybe we do things that make us go, wow. Maybe we even love ourselves at times. But for sure, we can be grateful that we took this time today to take care of ourselves. So with that sense of positivity and gratitude flowing through you today, go ahead and find a little bit of movement, maybe wiggling the toes, wiggling the fingers. You could rotate your ankles and wrists in one direction and then the other. Maybe stretch the arms up overhead, getting a big stretch, reaching the fingertips away from the low body. And then we'll bring the soles of the feet to the edge of the chair and roll to whatever side serves you best so that you can push yourself up to a nice tall seat. And if you'd like to sit in cross-legged position in Sukhasana, you can do that. Or we're going to, or we could take, Dandasana, staff pose, where the legs are sent out long in front of us. The feet are flexed with the toes pointed up towards the sky, kind of sitting in this L-shaped position. Crossing the legs can be hard on the knees. It can also create an imbalance in the hips, but Dandasana keeps everything on a nice even keel here. And we'll go ahead and take the fingertips out to the side, reestablish that nice, tall, beautiful seat with the chin tucked and the heart lifted and the shoulder blades down the back. Take one more big breath here. And the next time we inhale, we'll float the arms up alongside the ears, reaching overhead and grabbing all of those positive feelings we created together, bringing the palms together and down to the heart. And this is where we tilt the chin gently and say, Namaste.